tell you a story. I've written down a few notes in case I forget a few things. These are real life experiences that I've witnessed, and they have a fair bit to do with preparedness, and especially EDC, which is everyday carry. Some of the things on here might inspire some of you guys to at least think about some of the scenarios which has actually happened, which I've seen, to act on and to think about. So the first thing I want to mention was my wife and I was at a wedding a month or two ago. Had a great time. It was with all of the family from Australia around a big table having a lovely meal, brilliant time. One of the boys, he had an allergy for some reason. We don't know why, but his face started to go a bit puffy. His eyes were running a bit, his nose was blocked. It looked like he just got a bad cold pretty much straight away. And no one really knew why. And I think his mum said, you know, he's got an allergy. And I'm thinking, allergy. No one had any treatment for it around the table. And, you know, this went on for about a minute or so, and things weren't getting any better. They were slowly getting worse. So someone had to do something. So straight away I thought to myself, get my wallet out. In my wallet, and I'll lead on to the story of why and how I've come about doing what I do. The kit is in my wallet. Now, it's just a bog standard, nice, soft leather wallet. Nothing tactical, nothing like that. It's just a normal wallet, yeah? And inside the wallet, I carry a collection of tablets and pills, etc. And on the flip side are some band-aids or plasters. They're waterproof and tough, so they're pretty good. And it's kept in a very, very heavy-duty plastic sealable bag. And I think the bag comes from a BCB fishing kit. They're very good quality bags. Now, I just said to him, I've got an allergy tablet for hay fever and I've got antihistamine for bites and stuff. And his mum goes, oh, the hay fever one would be perfect. So I think I had two of them in there. I'll take one out, only a tiny little tablet. Gave it to him and he had it with his water, and it was probably within 5 minutes. And the guy his nose had stopped running, his eyes would stop streaming, his face was still a bit puffy. That went down after about 20 minutes. And, you know, people were gobsmacked, and, you know, I think it was his dad. He actually said, he said, hey Darren, he said, thanks mate, he said he really helped out, in an Australian accent, which I'm not going to do. And he said, how come you got all them tablets in your wallet? And I said, well, it was based on a video I saw on YouTube, and everyone was looking at me, what? And my wife said, oh yeah, Darren's a prepper. And I'm thinking, oh God, it's a bit embarrassing, because I do hate that word, prepper. You know, people just think of underground bunkers, gas masks, and 20 years of baked beans. It's clearly bullshit. Anyway, don't want to digress, we've got to keep to the story, right? And I said, yeah, what it was, I saw a video on YouTube, and what it was this guy. He was in this store in the States. He was just browsing around the items on the shelf, as you do, and I think there was a father and son in there walking around, and the little boy, he cut himself on something, and he went up to the storekeeper. And his father said, you know, my boy's cut himself, he got a plaster. And the shopkeeper says, I haven't got any, didn't have a first aid kit, and they didn't sell any plasters. And he was just cut finger, it wasn't nice. And the guy said, yeah mate, I can help, I've got some band-aids. And he went to his wallet and he got out a plaster, a band-aid, and he stuck it over the boy's finger. And the father was gobsmacked. He said, oh mate, he said, thanks ever so much. He said, brilliant. You know, how can I thank you? He said, if you don't mind me asking, he said, what are you doing with a plaster in your wallet? And the bloke looked at him and he said, why aren't you carrying one in yours? And then the guy, the dad, you know, you can see him thinking about all sorts. And he says, I never would have thought it. But when you think about it, it's something so small, it can go in a wallet easy, and maybe not for yourself, but for someone else who could do with some help. So all I'd done was I remembered that video, and I thought, there's room in there for tablets. You know, if I've got a thumping headache, and I haven't got a first aid kit on me, which most of us don't carry first aid kits everywhere we walk, I can stick some in the wallet, and that's what I've done. So I'll keep that. It's so slimline, look, it doesn't really take up any room, and it can help out yourself and others. So I thought, that's a great idea. And little stories like that, which I've heard about and which I've seen actually materialise from my own experience. And another one was my stepson James. He was driving home. He was probably about 15 miles away, maybe a bit less. And there was a fatality, an RTA, road traffic accident on the motorway, which is not too far from where I live. And he was stuck in the traffic, could not move. He was in the middle of 3 lanes, it was chocker, in front of him, behind him, for miles. It was on the local news. I'm not sure if it made national news, but it was definitely on all of the local news. All of the south of England get to see it. So yeah, it was a lorry and a van. They went into each other, the van burst into flames. Anyway, the road was shut. It was usually a 15 to 20 minute journey for him to get home. And do you know how long his journey was? When he left work to get home? 5 hours. Yeah, 5 hours. 5 hours in his car, running out of diesel, mobile phone running out of battery, no water, no first aid, no food, nothing in his car. Yeah? And, he doesn't think about preparedness and stuff. He's more interested in gambling, watching football, drinking with his mates, And I had a chat with him about a week later. He come round and my wife and I cooked Sunday dinner as we do for our family a lot of the time. And I said to him, that journey when you come home and you're stuck in all that traffic, I said, did you have anything in the car? He said, no, I was, screwed. I said, didn't you have anything to charge your phone up? He said, no, I left it at home. I said, well, I'll tell you what you want to do, in case that happens again, because you never know. I mean, if you've got a crystal ball, do you know it's going to happen again? He couldn't answer that, and he just laughed it off. He said, all you've got to do is just get a little bag, even a carrier bag, it doesn't matter, just something to keep it in. And you just put in there a small bottle of water, a tiny little first aid kit. I mean, if you can't be bothered to make a first aid kit, you can buy them in the bloody supermarket for a few pounds. It's nothing, right? Chuck that in there. Chuck a couple of snack bars in there. And even get a spare lead, which you can plug into your car and charge your phone up. And if you are low on petrol and you run out, you can just get a little solar charger or a little battery pack. You can get them from Chinese ones from £5 up to £100, whatever you want to pay. They're all out there, yeah? Keep it charged up, keep it in the bag, and just put it in the car, at least that. And this is acting on his scenario of what happened to him. We can obviously elaborate on that, but for a base idea for someone who don't even think about preparedness, I said to him, why don't you just do something like that? And he goes, well, I don't know, it's a bit much, I don't think it'll happen again. So I think, okay, fine. And he's not going to do nothing about it. So that's his mentality, which unfortunately a lot of people do think like that. And people don't look after themselves and take responsibility for themselves. It's the world we live in, I guess. There's not much you can do about that. But at least I've told him there's not much I can do. I'm not going to do it for him. He's a grown man now, he can do it himself. So there you go. He's been told. But it just makes you think about things, And speaking about thinking about things, my wife and I were just sitting there with both. She was on her iPad, I was on my laptop. The TV was on in the background because she likes it. I hate it. Oh, it just drives me nuts, the TV set. If I had my way, I'd just smash it up and throw it out. It's crap. The power went. Complete darkness. But because our electronic devices are battery powered, they were still on. So, oh, that's weird. The laptop's still on, the iPad's on, TV's off, the whole house is off. And this is where EDC comes in. Now, I don't wear jeans anymore. I can't stand jeans. They're uncomfortable, you can't fit nothing in those stupid little pockets. I carry my 511 strike pants, I think they're called. And they got a few pockets on them, not over top, but there's a few, there's enough. And I EDC, my knife, my torch, my wallet, which has got loads of stuff in, and a few other things. And all the time, everywhere I go, I carry a flashlight, a torch, everywhere I go. I don't really use it very often, but it was amazing. Within 10 seconds of the lights going off and it registering, my God, the house has got no power. Get the flashlight on, dink, walk around the house, see what you're doing, and just go from there. So I quickly, found out that it was a power cut. The whole house was off. It just wasn't a fuse in the front room. So I said to my wife, "You okay staying there for 5 minutes?" Yeah, she was fine on her little iPad. I went for a walk around the street. Now, half of the street was dark, including the street lights. The other half was fine. The main road, quite a way up the end of the street and turn right, all of that was off, all of the lights, all of the houses were all dark. I thought, wow, it's like a little zone that's just completely been tripped, it's all gone. So I thought, okay, it might take a while to get all that put back on. So with that in mind, this was about 9 p.m. My wife usually has a bath around 9:30, something like that. So she said, alright, power comes on soon. I said, well, there's nothing much we can do about it. And I lit a few candles, and I'll talk about these in a second about candles, very important. And I thought to myself, hold on, if she's going to be having a bath soon, we've got no power, how's she going to heat the water up? And she said, oh, that's alright, said the boiler's gas. And I'm like, how do you think the boiler works? And I said to her, I said, what powers the boiler? All the electrics. And she went, oh yeah. Exactly. Boiler's gone, no hot water, no power, nothing. We haven't got a gas cooker no more, we've got electric, so we had nothing. So I thought, okay, perfect opportunity to test my new dual fuel double ring cooker, stove, whatever you want to call it. Now I got it for the vehicle, but I thought it's not bad idea to test it in the house in reality to see how it functions. So I put it in the kitchen, opened the big window to let loads of ventilation in because this is paraffin, yeah, kerosene. So it's got kerosene in there, so I've squirted it in there, it's bathed through it, filled up the things, heated it up, big flames like this, black smoke. And the long and the short, the whole house stunk of paraffin. And my wife is going, that smells awful. And I said, look, I've got all of the windows open, there's not much more I can do. It was raining, I didn't want to sit outside in the rain. Anyway, and that made me think, blimey. So I turned all that off, let it cool down, moved it to one side. Went to my preps and I got my little 442 stove, dual fuel, and that had petrol in there. So I opened the window up again, lit that up, and that didn't smell nowhere near as bad as the paraffin. So I managed to boil up a big pot of water on that tiny little stove, amazing bit of kit, the 442. I think they call it the Peak One as well, by Coleman. Brilliant, saved our arse. So it's made us a nice hot cup of tea and a hot cup of chocolate, and there was quite a bit of water left to put in the sink to dilute with some cold water so she could at least have a quick wash. And the strange thing was, as soon as everything come to the boil, all of the lights come on. But it still made me think, I went under the cupboard, we had about 4 or 5 candles. I've got quite a few tea lights at my preps, tiny little things, but in fairness, they're little cheap Chinese things. I've bought some and I've had some given to me. And they say 4 to 8 hours, it's bullshit. You light them, hour and a half and they're gone. So you're going to go through them pretty quick if you're lighting up various rooms and whatnot. So I thought, right, the company, the sticks I had, it was by a company called Prince's. Now, I'm not paid by these guys, I bought these myself. I'm going to say that a lot. But that's them there. Now these are cool, they're quite deep as you can see, the tea lights. And they burn 7 to 8 hours. And knowing the brand, I've used this before, they do what they say on the tin. And I actually took one of these out and I lit it. I looked at the time, okay, forget all about it. Went back in there and it was getting low, moved it to the front room and waited for it to go out, timed it. And yeah, it was about 10 minutes before 8 hours, so I know they work. Bought loads of these in bulk. I think I got a box of them in there because I found it's cheaper to buy them in bulk, and they're a good company. If they go bust or they have a run on them and they sell them all, they're out of stock. The next place you can find them, the price is more expensive, so I tend to find the cheapest I can, have a chat with them, see if I can get a bulk deal. And 9 times out of 10, that was 20 quid for all of those, and there's tons in there. So for, I think it was 60 candles, and they burn 8 hours each. They've got little metal cases, so you can put them anywhere, not worry about the wax going everywhere. So it's a nice little contained unit. And, that will give us light if and when the power cut, or the power out I think you guys in America call it. If it happens again, which it will, it's bound to. So there's a few little. Yep, I think that's all covered. All my notes done. That was real life experiences with prepping and EDC for me. So I hope that's given you guys food for thought, and you know, we all learn from each other's mistakes and we all help each other. So feel free to pass it on, take something from it, and I hope it helps. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay funky.